Kavanaugh neighbors describe horrific experience dealing with aggressive pro-choice protesters. So if you've been watching my channel, you'll know that the Supreme Court recently had a leaking of a draft that they were going to be voting on, and the draft basically detailed the overturning of Roe v. Wade, which gives access to abortion across the nation, as well as I don't know the full extent of that. Basically, it bans states from just outright banning abortion. So with the overturning of that, it gives the option back to states. So California can do what they want, Idaho can do what they want, New York can do what they want, Texas can do what they want in regards to that. And personally, I'm fine with that. You know, why are we forcing laws onto people when the people in that area don't agree with that law? You know, people in California are going to agree with different laws on guns and abortion than people in Texas. I don't think we should be enforcing laws on each other. Like, Texas shouldn't be enforcing laws on California. California should be enforcing laws on Texas. Anyways, so if you know about the Supreme Court draft leaking, then you'll also know that since then, Justice Brett Kavanaugh has had protest outside of his house ever since. And even before then, I think he was still getting protesters outside of his house. So a lot of people keep sharing his information online, and it's just been really bad. These protesters, you know, they're coming up and down the streets at all hours of the day. It seems like they've mainly been organizing on Wednesday nights, is what the neighbors are saying. But they're being incredibly insulting. They're telling them fuck their children, fuck you. They're being extremely loud and obnoxious. They're being too loud for the apparently the children of the neighbors to sleep and stuff like that. And it's just really bad to see this. This isn't, you know, I get you're trying to protest. I get you guys are trying to get your message out there, but this is not how you protest. Threatening people is not protesting. And you know, especially outside of someone's home, how unsafe is that for a crowd to be gathered outside of someone's home, especially with someone they disagree with? You know, like I said, I agree with your right to protest, but go protest somewhere else where he may be or where he'll still see it. Like, why does it need to be right outside of his home? Like, that's quite threatening. I would say to have a large group of people outside of your home, especially ones that I would say most of these people hate Justice Kavanaugh. So a lot of people that hate you outside of your home. And then we have this story here. Man arrested near Kavanaugh's home, charged with attempted murder of the Supreme Court justice. So just the other day, we had a California man who was allegedly armed with a gun, knife, and various tools when he was arrested in the early morning near Justice Kavanaugh's house in Maryland. Has been charged with attempted murder, federal officials said in papers filed Wednesday. So the man showed up in a taxi around 1:50 a.m. There was some, marshals, I think, marshals that had spotted him, and he, like, walked away, and then he ended up calling the cops on himself. So he ended up turning himself in. But this guy came from California. He's got, you know, depression, suicidal thought, whatever's going on with him. But he came to Virginia to hurt Brett Kavanaugh. And he even specifically said why. He said because of recent school shootings, or mass shootings in general, as well as the leaking of the draft. So because of the way Brett Kavanaugh feels about these issues, people are now literally making attempts on his life. And what are we seeing while these attempts on his life are being made? Well, the protests aren't slowing down. That's what I'm seeing. Just hours after the guy was arrested, the protests that were scheduled for that Wednesday went on just as planned. Now, personally, I would think if I'm protesting a political rival and someone who is supposed to be on my side makes an attempt on the man's life, I would be like, all right, let's back up a little bit. People are getting a little crazy. But no, these guys doubled down and they're like, yeah, we fucking hate you. Yeah, this is wrong, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, what are they protesting? They're protesting the right for a woman to choose, which I fully agree with. A woman should be able to choose what she can do with her own body. Except that's not the debate that we're having. The debate is that should she have the right to do whatever she wants with the body inside of her that is separate from her own? Now, they are connected via umbilical cord, but that does not, you know, the woman carrying the child does not have 20 toes. She does not have 20 hands. She doesn't have 2 hearts. It's a separate person. It's a fully separate person, and that's what the debate about is about right now. It's not about whether a woman has the freedom to do what she will with her body. Yes, she does, but with that freedom, you also must take the responsibility for what you do with your body. And if what you do with your body is go sleep around with people and you get pregnant, that is, something you need to deal with. And I don't think erasing it from existence is how you deal with it. You created it, and you shouldn't be able to just snap it out of existence because you're like, oh, oopsie, my bad. What is that? That's horrible. That's simply disgusting, in my opinion. But that's why we have these debates, and that's why we need to have this conversation, because we're going to get nowhere if we just keep shutting each other down and we're not looking at the other side. I try to look at the other side. I try to see what they're doing. I try to see where they're coming from. And, a lot of the times they're coming from the same place that people on the right are coming from. I don't pick either side. I try to listen to both sides. But each side is really, at the end of the day, they have the same goals to some extent, but they have completely different ways of achieving those goals, and the end result ends up being different as well. And that's basically where we're differing, is everyone wants everyone to be happy, be free, do what you want with yourself and whatever else. But the debate nowadays is, whether that is a person inside of your body, whether you're allowed to have a firearm in your possession for self-defense, whether or not you're able to biologically change your gender. These are the debates that we're having, instead of, actually, I wouldn't even say that we're having debates. We're just screaming back and forth at each other saying, no, you're wrong. No, you're wrong. No, you're wrong. And it's getting really tiring. I just want to have a simple conversation with people, and it doesn't seem to be happening anymore. The only places I really see where real conversations being had between two people that fully disagree is on places like Tim Pool and, Joe Rogan sometimes. And it's really sad to see. I want to see more people that fully disagree with each other talking it out and coming to some sort of agreement. I talked on a little bit in my last video how I had a really pleasant conversation with someone on Twitter about gender and sex and stuff like that. We had a full conversation without insulting each other once, and we both got our points across rather well. And, I saw where he's coming from. I certainly hope he saw where I was coming from, and we basically agreed to disagree. And he said he would like to have a conversation in the future. That's what I love to see. I love to see people that disagree with me, but can sit down and actually talk to me. Why would I ever change my mind when someone's trying to threaten my life, when they're sitting outside my house screaming at me and telling me I'm a bigot, racist, all these things? Why would I want to go over there and be like, you know what? You're right. You're right. I am a bigot. I am a racist. I am all these things that you're saying. Why the hell would I do that? Why would I do that? There's no reason for me to go over and be like, yep, I'm wrong. Yep, 100%. I'm this, I'm that. I'm whatever you were saying. Why would I do that? Why can't we just have a simple conversation? You lay it out for me. I'll lay it out for you, and we'll talk about it. Why can't we do that nowadays? No, we have protesters and people trying to make attempts on, Justice's life and stuff like that. And what are we doing to stop this? We had Tim Pool talks about Civil War, and I see stuff like this, and I'm like, yeah, maybe it is on the way. Because look, the House passed a bill, 396 votes to 27 votes, to increase security for Supreme Court justices' immediate families on Tuesday, approving a measure that had already been passed by unanimous consent in the Senate. So what does this bill do? The bill increases protections for Supreme Court justices' families, similar to what is already provided for some members of the executive and legislative branches. So it just gives more security to people around the justices and related to them. Who voted nay? All Democrats. Why would a Democrat vote nay on this? This would also benefit them. But they don't want you having protections against your political rivals. Why would they want that? Because that's how they win. They scare you into submission. And it's just disgusting. It really is. I want people to have conversations. I want people to have debates. This is no way to get laws passed. We shouldn't be going to justices' houses to try to scare them into changing their mind. That is no way for a republic or a democracy to act. We're falling apart, man. We're falling apart. We can't have conversations nowadays. People are trying to make attempts on the Supreme Court justice, and the only way I can see this being turned around is if people put an end to it themselves and they come out and start talking to people they disagree with. Talk to people you disagree with. Please go talk to someone you disagree with. It is the best conversation you'll ever have. And don't insult them. They may say something that is completely idiotic. I don't care. Don't insult them. If they say something that's idiotic, listen to their point of view and then give them your point of view and maybe explain how they can have a different perspective on things. Why are we listening to people's comments, or not even listening to the comments, reading the first line or two and being like, you're an idiot, you're a dumbass, you're this, that, or otherwise, listen to me, I'm correct, I'm right, I know I'm right. Why are we doing that? This convinces no one. This is unproductive as hell. The only way to have a productive conversation is without insulting one another, listening to one another, and giving actual rebuttal to one another's points. And that's what I hope to see in the future going forward. But right now we're not seeing it. And I hope it changes soon. But things just keep escalating. In my point of view, things have only been escalating in this political divide, and I just hope that we're gonna hit a turning point sometime soon. That's what I hope. But that's all I have to talk on the situation with Brett Kavanaugh. Don't go threatening people you disagree with. Have a conversation with them, please. And with that, I'll leave it there. Subscribe if you like my content. Subscribe if you like what I have to say. If I say anything you disagree with, anything you agree with, or there's something you just want to add, please leave a comment, leave a like, and have a great rest of your day. Thank you.